Hello, this is the RPG Crawler, and welcome to my channel update for January 2017. Wow, time is rolling on. I've got several things to talk about, but first of all, I would like to, as usual, welcome everybody who's subscribed to my channel since the last update. I try to do the channel updates once a month, sometimes a little bit more often if something's really happening. And in these updates, I basically give a rundown of things that I have done in the channel, things that I have planned for the future, my techniques, whatever, any of my concerns. This is where I ask you, the viewer, for input as to what you would like to see me do, and anything that you particularly like or anything you particularly dislike, any suggestions that you may have. So I really appreciate any feedback that you can give me on this, whether it's just saying that you like something or whether you say something that needs to be some drastically improved, whatever. And this is also a good, I know some people view this and then they realize that I've done some videos recently that they missed or whatever, and then they go back and view those. So I always mention some of the stuff that I've tried, very recently to cover. And we go from there. But as always, thank you all for subscribing and watching me, and let's get right into it. First of all, things I've recently done is I reinstated the Indie Game Friday series. I opened series Season 3 with it. It retained a lot of the structure from Season 2. I'm just kind of refining that and kind of streamlining it a little bit. I'm going to be putting a little bit more of my opinions into it going forward, because I gotta admit, the first critical review I ever have done started on this channel. I have no background in. I have nothing, no experience with this. So I'm just going on what I see, what I've seen, and going forward and just offering my opinions and my, of course, experience in the gaming world on these products. So take that as you will. But I know a lot of people, a fair amount of people, enjoyed my Indie Game Friday series, and I'm excited to do it. Some of you may have also noticed my First Look series. And I used to do these kind of first looks as part of the Indie Game Friday series, but from now going forward, Indie Game Friday will only cover games that are either have a commercial release, or if they're free games, have a full release out. Whereas Indie First Look, or these first RPG Crawlers First Look games, will be things that are very early in development, in the alpha or beta stage, that have not yet had a commercial release. They may be early access, but only if they're like just hitting early access. A lot of them will be greenlight candidates, or indie games that are looking to be greenlight candidates, or from Kickstarter. I noticed that those videos tended to be not super popular, but for my channel, relatively popular. So I will be going forward on those. They will not be on a set schedule, because I have no way of knowing when a brand new game, will come out. I think I've got 3 or 4 candidates for indie for the Indie First Look series coming up, so I will try to get those. But I appreciate people that have been watching that, and I hope to bring more of them to you in the future. I tried to do like I did with my first season of Indie Game Friday with the Indie First Look, and I do just live record my impressions on that, because I honestly think that's the best way to handle a first look game. It not only gives you my initial impressions, hot right off the bat, but it also gives the developer, because I've noticed quite a few of the developers are really small developers, and yet they do take time to watch videos like mine. I know I've had several of them come up in these videos and, thank me for covering it or whatever. I think that the initial reaction and the initial experience of a user to one of these games is valuable data. So I do like giving them the initial reaction, because if I can't, I've got experience, I've got a lot of video games I've got a lot of role playing games under my belt. If I can't figure out a concept or whatever, they may need, they may go back to the drawing board and make it more clear or whatever. So that's valuable information all in all. I'm happy to go ahead and put that out there. I will be as I said, I will be doing more of those. I will be continuing Indie Game Friday Season 3 with the adjusted criteria for what meets Indie Game Friday, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and go with, as I said, a full release. It needs to be either on Steam as a commercial release, or somewhere else as a commercial release. GOG.com works fine as well. Or if it's a free game in the final or all content completed stage, and that'll make my Indie Game Friday series. Aside from that, I will be continuing my RPG News Roundup for now. And I say for now guardedly because that's up to you, the viewer. Are you enjoying my RPG News Roundup format right now? I personally could take it or leave it. I've said this in the past. I enjoy doing it, but I'm not sure how well I present it. So if you have any suggestions, if you'd like to see me go into more depth on the topics I cover on my RPG News Roundup, if you'd like me to go into more analysis, I can try to. But I am a one-man operation here, and it is something I'd like to do. But let me know how that series goes. Of all of my series that I really enjoy doing, that's the one that's like kind of I could take or miss. In terms of the other series that I enjoy doing, that I currently do, my tabletop content, I'm trying to uptick that. Some of you may have noticed I've transitioned to Season 3 of my Tabletops and Taverns. I've kept largely the same format. I really need to kind of diversify that a bit. Put more on the video than just, my face looking at the camera. I will be continuing the series that I'm doing right now and covering old school topics. And then after that, I think I'm going to shift gears a little bit and cover some non-D&D RPGs, or such that I can, because I am so heavily D&D focused on my RPG experience. Or I might, take a look at various, old school campaign worlds, because that could be an entire series itself. What would you like to see? Would you like to see more non-D&D content? Would you like to see some, old school D&D campaign world discussion? Or would you just like to see, see me do something else with it? Let me know. The other thing that I'm going to try and get more out of is RPG Storytime. I had another one recorded and I lost the data for it, so I'm going to have to re-record it, and hopefully I won't ramble as much this time. My goal is to get 2 RPG story times and 2 Tabletops and Taverns out a month. That's been my goal for a long time. I've fallen short a lot of times. But hey, this month I got my 2 Tabletops and Taverns out early, so I may do 2 RPG story times going forward. I find it amusing, the RPG story times, even though it can be hard to dredge through the years of my memory and come up with things that others might find amusing. But hey, as long as you enjoy it, I'll keep telling them. Let's see. I did want to do some more reviews. I've got a couple. I do reviews on both, tabletop and computer role-playing games, and I said last month I was going to do more of them, and then almost immediately my review queue kind of dried up. I've got like about 2 minor things that I would like to review, and they're both tabletop RPGs. They're both indie RPGs of a kind of low fantasy / sword and sorcery kind of format. So I will be reviewing them. But yeah, I'm kind of torn over my review series. I have no background in reviewing. I have no background in critical reviews except what I learned, during schooling and experience in game design on both the computer and tabletop aspects. So, I have what I say in those reviews. I'm still developing my format. Is just, literally just my thoughts and my critiques. So I'm kind of torn on those. I think looking back at them, like, you know, as they say, no creator is 100%, you know, no creator is 100% confident in everything that they do. I'm looking back at my reviews, and I'm kind of like this about them. I enjoy doing them. I want to do way more. I want to do a hell of a lot more of them. But I think they may be a little bit on the dry side. I'm going to try and mix it up a little bit and make them more entertaining to watch while still maintaining the informative nature of them. But then I'm going to do some, and I've been talking about this for a long time, I'm going to be trying to do some more lighthearted stuff, some more maybe comedic reviews on a few things. I've got a couple of my viewers, actually several of my viewers have RPG channels of their own or general gaming channels of their own, and I really enjoy watching a lot of their videos, and I've had more than a couple offers and requests to do collaborations, and my whole problem has been I haven't been able to think of things that I would collaborate with them with, because I would love to do a collaboration, and you viewers who have offered me this know who I'm talking about. I would love to do collaborations with all of you over time. I just need to figure out what the hell I'm doing with my own channel first. And then figure out what would be the best opportunity for all of us, for whatever pairs, of collabs that I do or multi-collabs that I do, what would offer the best return for everybody involved. Because while I believe that my content is decent, I know my production values could use a hell of a lot of work. But hopefully we'll be able to work something out, and I will be in contact with those who have offered as soon as I figure a couple things out. I know I've got at least one lighthearted retro review that I want to do, and I've got 2 retrospectives that are serious, like serious business. I want to go ahead and put them up. And just to give you a clue as to what's coming up, I have 5 videos that have either been scripted or already recorded in terms of high content tabletop stuff. 5 videos have either been scripted or already recorded and are in need of editing. So they will be on the coming soon list. I don't want to say what they are, because every time I say something on one of these videos, it fucks up. But those are on the coming soon tab. And then I've got 21 videos that are outside of my usual routine of Let's Plays, Tabletops and Taverns, RPG Story Time, Indie Game Friday, and RPG News Roundup. And those are all outside of all that. They are long-term content that aren't going to, go by the wayside, and they may help bring me some viewers, which would be great. And I think they would be very informative for my usual viewers. In fact, I can go ahead and list them off generally. I have a How to Play Dungeons and Dragons series that I'm currently crafting, and what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to show how to play Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition for the complete newbie. Like, I'm trying to put this together so someone completely new to the hobby can pick up these videos and learn to play and run a session from scratch. Not a huge, great session, not a overarching campaign. I'm not going to go into the details of map making and stuff, because there are plenty of videos that do it much better than I do. But in terms of just designing a basic adventure, running a basic adventure, adjudicating combat, and so on and so forth in those videos. I have a series that I'm going to do on the history. Is a retrospective. It's going to be part history and part review of the entire Dungeons and Dragons series from the earliest days to 5th edition. I currently have the first of those videos, which actually pre-D&D games, that I'm in the process of editing and getting additional footage on. So that D&D retrospective is going to be like in the more dry thing. I've been promising this for a long time, but I've actually got a couple episodes scripted, and at least one of them, most of the footage already, recorded for it. So hopefully you'll be able to see that start coming out soon. That's not going to be like a once a week thing, but I will be getting that one up as a series as time goes by. And then I've got a retrospective on the Wizardry series that I want to do, and that's still in the early planning stages. So all of these projects are coming down the line, and the reason I bring this up is because this is January's news post, so a lot of this stuff is long-term for 2017 as a whole. But you should be seeing these in addition to my usual stuff. Yeah, in terms of random occurrences, I've got a new. I played some Roguelands with Rockin' ROFL, who is Alex, who played Javok in my Heroes of the Mist campaign. So I've got some videos of us playing that up that I just need to edit and put it up. It was fun. We enjoyed it. It's just goofing off in the game. I've got. I want to do a video on Talisman because one of my viewers was kind enough to give it to me on Steam and asked that I do a video on it. I've played a few games of it and think that I'm about ready to make a video on it, but I have no idea when I'm going to finish that up because it is a game that takes a while to do a game of that, and I can't just do if I sit there and just do a single gameplay session, it's going to be a very long video. So. But I've been enjoying it, and I really need to get on that. Let's see. Oh, I'm still trying to get the Heroes of the Mist group back together. They're probably done for now until the stars align and these two groups, like two people have. I've said this before. I've said this in every single update since. The last time I recorded it. We've got two people that have one schedule and two people that have another. Heroes of the Mist is still on pause. But I did run a game off the top of my head for two of those Heroes in the Mist players. And we didn't, and I've got it recorded. I was not intending to record it, but I do have it recorded. And they enjoyed that one off the fly, I want you to run something. Will you run something kind of deal? And that one adventure that I threw together in 5 minutes, they enjoyed it so much we're going to try and make it a full campaign. So I'm going to try and record a couple more sessions of that, and once I've got like 2 or 3 in the bag, you'll be seeing that pop up as a new series. And it's a little bit different. Some people may enjoy it, some people may not, because as I said, we were just goofing off. We weren't using the cameras or anything. We were using voice chat in Roll20, but that's about it. But it should be a little bit different, and since there's only 2 of them, it should be easier to get them together to actually play the damn thing. I had a dungeon crawl project, kind of. I mentioned it last time. I was gonna convert an old AD&D module to 5th edition, and I was gonna get people and run them through it, and then as I said, the Tales from the Yawning Portal in one of my news posts recently, they're going to convert some dungeons, and the dungeon that I wanted to run was among those conversions. So I decided to hold off on that and just run the official conversion. So you should be seeing that content like after March when I get that, or whenever that comes out. And the reason I held off on that is because I was of the idea that I would record it all and then post it when they were all done, one way or another. And basically that would have come out about the same time that the official product would come out. And I didn't really want to have any of my viewers confused, because it was going to be my conversion that was coming out during the time that an official conversion was coming down the pipeline. I didn't want any confusion in that matter, so I'm just going to go ahead and put that on the back burner for now. I'll concentrate on this new one, the spur of the moment one I put together, and we'll see if we can't get some more tabletop gaming off of that. Another thing I'm going to ask about feedback is I've changed the way that I've done audio balancing on my computer. So if you've been having any difficulty with audio balance issues on any of my recent videos, give me a shout. I listened to them and I think they sound okay, but I've been wrong. I've been wrong in the past, so give me a shout on that. Anyway, if you've got any suggestions for my channel, let me know. And I think I will wrap it up here. If you like what you've seen, remember to leave a like, comment if you've got feedback, and subscribe for more RPG content. If you haven't already, you can check out my Patreon page at patreon.com/rpgcrawler to help me basically bring things to you and to help support the channel. Until next time, take care and goodbye.